Unprecedented Morgue Chat Part 3. We like to do shit in threes here, but this is outrageous. We just ran out of time after our first two segments with this guy to not come back with a little more.
More politics than any human should have to endure.
On a Sunday anyway, but it's good for you. So take it. You can take it in parts. You know, you can take a dose on Monday, take a dose on Wednesday, and take a dose on Friday. You had your week full.
Shove the whole thing up your ass at once if you have to.
We have Morgue Chat suppository form. Alright. A couple of things that we weren't able to broach on the last few things, but they're very important things. I was thinking that Michigan, being the peninsula it is, with the largest population of militia personnel available in our non-federalistic society, is not Michigan the easiest defensible state in the Union?
Michigan is also a border state, however. You cannot rely on the military powerhouse that is Canada to protect us.
We should have got rid of them a long time ago. They scare me, man. They come after us with hockey sticks and shit.
Here's something you have not heard about. Michigan has an immigration problem. You've not heard one word of this about the media. But in voluntary discussions I've had with the Michigan State Police, Michigan has a problem with Chinese immigrants being smuggled into the country for the purpose of slave labor. Channel 4 won't cover it, Channel 2 won't cover it.
Slave labor.
Slave labor in Chinese factories in the U.S., in Michigan.
They're buying up the land, they're putting up their own factories and bringing in their own slaves. Damn. Is that going to suck a little revenue out of Mrs. Granholm?
But from a defensive standpoint, Michigan has a lot of topography that lends us to wonderful defense. We've got massive areas of open wilderness. We've got large urban areas, which, I don't know about you, but if I were an invading army, I wouldn't want to walk down fucking Jefferson through Detroit. You're going to have more lead thrown at you from the gangbangers than you would any defending army.
Wow, think about that. They're all armed out there. Hey, you know what? Urban development and the slow, as you say, empowerment of these urbanites from our federalist or our non-federalist government, it seems that they're empowering them against the middle class, which they're disenfranchising and squashing in large proportions with the current policies that they have towards us.
The entitlement mentality is the phrase that most aptly describes them. You've got the people that were brought up relying on government handouts to the point where they cannot function without these government handouts. So what happens in turn is they continually elect the people that are promising them more and more without realizing that this is coming from somewhere. Why don't I vote for the person that lets me keep more and more? And
I wouldn't need the government help?
No, but you certainly would have to get off your ass and work for it.
Damn straight, man. And that ties in with immigration, which we were just speaking about, because immigration is not immigration anymore. It is slow invasion. On small bit part invasion, family to family, in which they rely on our government to give them the money to have 8 freaking kids. 8 freaking kids. I can't afford 8 kids. Can you afford 8 kids?
I got 1, and that's more than enough.
Bam!
From a strictly philosophical standpoint, I'm a child of immigrants. Both of my grandparents moved here straight from Italy, unable to read, write, or speak English. My last name is a bastardization of the family name because they couldn't explain immigration how to spell it. So they took a guess at it.
Yep.
But by the same token, my family worked. They owned businesses, they built themselves up, they moved from there, and they're not these groups that you see that are coming over and having a child in the country just so they don't have to leave.
Damn straight. Or 8 to make sure that none of them have to leave. And then they bring in their cousins and their brothers and shit. Now, it used to be fine in small increments. That's called immigration. When you're doing it in this mass population explosion like we got here in freaking Dearborn with the Arabs, then that is freaking crazy, dude. That is invasion. I mean, when you only have so many visas a year, yet they make exceptions on the outside of these to the point of 10 times what the actual policy was to let people in this country, you start beginning to be fucked because they are growing their small, low-class army for the elitists so that they don't have to worry about those fuckers coming after them because they need them so badly.
The SMVM and MichiganMilitia.com tries to stay outside of political positioning in a lot of these issues, and that's because we are open to everybody. We've got members that have come here from oppressive nations, and their actual goal is to defend this nation so that we don't turn into a Beirut or a Syria or anything of that nature. But outside of that, you do have a lot of people that their motives for coming here are less than pure. You've got 9/11, which is a hot topic for just about everybody from whichever side you come from. But all of those people came here legally. They overstayed their visas, but they did come here legally to plot against us.
Exactly. So isn't it time to close up shop, as far as I'm concerned? Now, I want you to take some of these props. It's prop time, kids. I want you to take some of these props and tell us what these particular props might be used for in a normal situation.
We'll start with this. This is an American-produced AK-74. This is manufactured by Ohio Rapid Fire in the U.S. This is a main battle rifle. This is anti-personnel, wide open spaces, lay down lead and take out people. Not the best idea for home defense because as you start to ventilate your neighbor's house, they do get a little bit testy.
Drafty in there.
For home defense, the time-honored True Blue 12-gauge shotgun. In this case, it's got a pistol grip and an extendable stock, making it more functional but more ugly by Brady campaign standards. Or my personal favorite, a Kel-Tec Sub 2000 carbine that fires pistol cartridges, uses Glock magazines, and is perfectly balanced for one-handed use or as a shoulder-mounted weapon that is wonderfully small enough to maneuver around the confines of your house. All three of these weapons, mind you, would be rendered illegal if current members of our government and current legislation such as House Resolution 1022 were to actually pass. It is important for everybody watching this to talk to your elected representatives, email them, send them letters, call them on the telephone, tell them we need to remain able to defend ourselves in case of attack, in case of disaster. Also, it is important that you visit our website, MichiganMilitia.com, to find out how you, too, can learn to protect yourself, your family, your neighbors, and our community as a whole. If we don't stand up and learn the basic tools of self-defense, we're going to get knocked down.
Stand up, stand out, or get the fuck out of the way. Isn't that what we like to say here? That's it for us, man. That's it for you. But you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
Bring the toys with you. We're going to have some fun later.
Also, I'm inviting you and everybody watching to come out to our trainings, particularly Field Day, the second weekend of April. See what we are, see what we're about, and we'll even let you pop off a few on our target range.
Ha 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 ha.